Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together, we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys?
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it. Husband!
Wife!
Do you know where we are?
We are in Song of Solomon.
Songs.
We just read Song 7, I believe.
We did.
And so that would mean that today, what are we getting into today?
We are reading Song 8.
Okay.
Of those songs that are Solomon's.
We're getting into Song 8.
Mm-hmm. And guess what?
What?
You already know. Don't pretend you don't. Somebody in Discord ruined it. It's the last one.
Yeah,
it's the last chapter.
Yeah.
We're done with this book after I finish this tonight.
Yeah.
I was going to surprise you with that news, and then we got onto Discord early because we do Discord every Tuesday at what time?
10 p.m.
10 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
If you would like to join us and further spoil things.
Yeah, thanks, Brady.
Great conversations are to be had there, and fun is had by all, I believe.
Definitely.
And you can tell husband things he's not supposed to know and give him spoilers.
Also, the link is in the show notes, so check it out.
Yes, do.
All right, let's, you ready to get into Song 8 and the last song?
Yes,
all
let
right.
us do this. Okie dokie.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's get into Song 8.
Let's do it.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
It starts out with titties.
It starts out with titties.
It does.
I love titties.
I did not expect that. I'm sorry. I did not expect that response.
Yeah, no, I know. That's why, partly why I did it. Just,
my face. I can feel how hot my face is. Sorry. Okay. If only you were to me like a brother who was nursed at my mother's breast.
Oh, that's not what?
Okay, what she means is if we lived in the same house. Like if you were as close to me now as my brothers were when we nursed.
Okay.
It's an analogy.
It's a bad analogy.
It's so bad because it sounds incestuous.
It really does, yeah.
But it's not meant incestuous.
Right. No, I guess I get it.
I want to make fun of it because it's incestuous and it's titties.
Right. Yeah.
But okay, I'm just trying to be a grown up here.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
She just means she wishes that he
they
was
were
as close to her.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then, if I found you outside, I would kiss you, and no one would despise me.
No,
because it's okay to kiss your brother like that. I guess. Just kidding. I don't know. I think she's just saying like if we were already married, if you were already part of my family,
right.
you know, then I could kiss you. But right now, you're not related at all in any way whatsoever.
Right.
You're nobody to my family.
And so we got to hide it.
We're fucking with the goats.
Yeah.
At noon under the tree in a secret tryst.
Right.
So
and why do they got to hide it? Religion.
Exactly. And probably also because she's only 12 with her little grape-sized titties. I mean, just being honest.
Jesus.
I would lead you and bring you to my mother's house, she who has taught me. I would give you spiced wine to drink, the nectar of my pomegranates. Yeah, you would. His left arm is under my head, and his right arm embraces me. Daughters of Jerusalem, I charge you, do not arouse or awaken love until it so desires. Here's the thing. Every time I lay next to you and you put your left arm under my head or your right arm under my head, within 10 minutes, your arm falls asleep.
I mean,
and you're
it's
like,
losing circulation, you know?
And you're like, okay, that's good. Like, that's how a snuggle goes. You're like, okay, that's good. you were like, the snuggle has commenced, and then you were like, the snuggle is done now. Good night.
Right.
That's the way that goes.
Yeah.
So I think this girl has not been with enough men to know that, like, the snuggle does not stay forever.
Right.
All right. Who is coming up from the wilderness leaning on her beloved? Under the apple tree I roused you. You know about them apple trees.
Yeah.
There your mother conceived you. There she who was in labor gave you birth. Placed me like a seal over your heart, like a seal on your arm. For love is as strong as death. Its jealousy unyielding as the grave. It burns like a blazing fire, like a mighty flame. That is some hot
sounds
love.
Like to me, well, yeah, but it sounds like she might want to work on some self-love, though.
Right.
I mean, you don't need to be jealous over this guy. You know?
Yeah.
You should feel good about yourself, first.
Is that what this was about? She
says jealousy is as strong, or like the jealousy is really strong, Didn't she?
Okay. Well, I don't think this is her talking anymore.
Oh.
I think this is the chorus talking. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, who dat?
So they're just saying that in general, love is
fierce.
makes people jealous and stuff.
Yeah, love is hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think. I could be wrong.
Right.
It doesn't specifically say.
Got it.
Many waters cannot quench love. Rivers cannot sweep it away. If one were to give all the wealth of one's house for love, it would be utterly scorned.
What?
If one were to give all the wealth of one's house for love, it would be utterly scorned. So, if
can't buy me love.
Exactly. Exactly. Can't buy me love. Okay. We have a little sister and her breasts are not yet grown. So much talk about boobs. What shall we do? Oh, this is the brothers talking.
Okay.
So she does have grape-sized titties.
Oh.
She probably is only 12.
Oh.
Okay, this is the brothers. We have a little sister.
Wait, whose brothers? Her brothers?
Her brothers.
Okay.
They're protecting her.
Got it.
I've read notes.
Got it.
That's how I kind of know a little bit.
All right.
Okay. We have a little sister and her breasts are not yet grown. That meaning she's not yet a woman.
Right.
She's not an adult. They don't really mean. And we like looking at her tits.
Right.
As brothers do.
I got it.
Okay, I was just making sure you understood that.
Sure.
They weren't talking about her breasts that way.
Right. Okay.
What shall we do for our sister on the day she is spoken for? If she is a wall, we will build towers of silver on her. If she is a door, we will enclose her with panels of cedar. I am a wall and my breasts are like... Oh, no. Sorry, now it's her talking. So they're like, even though you're spoken for, we're not ever letting you go because you're under our care.
Okay.
So, we're supposed to, father you. Or
right.
whatever.
Well, and it sounds like she might be too young.
Yeah. If her breasts ain't grown yet.
Right.
But she says, I am a wall and my breasts are like towers. Thus I have become in his eyes like one bringing contentment. Damn. Oh. Solomon had a vineyard in Baal-Hamon. He let out his vineyards to tenants. Each was to bring for its fruit 1,000 shekels of silver. Gotta be honest, I thought she was going to say 1,000 foreskins. But she didn't. She said 1,000 shekels of silver.
Right.
But my own vineyard is mine to give. This pussy is mine.
Yeah.
Don't tell me who to fuck.
Okay.
That's what she's saying.
All right.
The 1,000 shekels are for you, Solomon, and 200 are for those who tend its fruit.
Okay.
Damn. She's like, I will fuck Solomon. How about that?
Right.
And I will pay him for the pleasure of him fucking me.
Well, who's the 200 for the tending the fruit?
Whoever is licking that pussy. I don't know. Shit. I mean, tending the fruit. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
I'm guessing here. I don't know.
Okay.
Like,
it's just, I'm just trying to figure this out. That's all.
I mean, is this still allegory? I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's very confusing and makes me uncomfortable, honestly.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about a child.
Because, if we're talking about, and we're talking about, you could either take this literally or you could take it as, allegory, and it could be referring to so many different things.
And either way, we're talking about a child.
Right.
Like, that much is clear.
Yeah.
I mean, we joked around about it because we thought it might be that way, and now the brothers are like, oh, no, you were right. It truly is that way.
Right,
She's like a 12-year-old.
That's, great.
Gross. Mm-hmm. Awesome. You who dwell in the gardens with friends and attendants, let me hear your voice. Come away, my beloved, and be like a gazelle or like a young stag on the spice-laden mountains.
So, okay.
I guess they're gonna go off
And
together.
that was the end.
That
of
was the
it.
end. That was the end.
Okay.
Okay, I have some notes here.
Sure.
Okay. This chapter contains dialogues between the woman and the daughters of Jerusalem, the woman and her brothers, and then finally the woman and the man, which is the bride and the bridegroom.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first part is a continuation of the last 2 chapters, and that's the mutual delight of the bride and groom. So they're still talking about how much they love each other's bodies and smell good and whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. The first part is the woman talking, and she's talking about love and the springtime, and love is as strong as death. And then the chorus starts in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, we got to search for the couple, where they be. And then the woman is talking about the power of love. And that's when the brothers are like, excuse you, we have a thing to say about our younger sister.
Right.
The woman's maternal brothers decide to keep their sister's virginity intact.
Okay.
So
they haven't done it yet, apparently.
Apparently. I don't know. But they do it in such a disparaging way, which recalls them their maligning attitude in chapter 1, verse 6, which I looked up so that I could refer back to it.
Yeah.
She says, my mother's sons, which remember that would mean that it was her full brothers.
Sure.
Not her half brothers, because they were her brothers through her mom.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but my own vineyard I have not kept.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So that's like a double play on words, because she's like, they made me work out in the garden, whatever.
Right.
But I got my own lady garden, and I'm giving that shit away.
Got it.
Then it moves on to the woman and her defense and talking about Solomon's vineyard. So as a response to the brothers, the woman, God, I can't call her the woman now that I know she's only a 12-year-old child.
Right.
She answers her brothers mockingly. And when in song 1, those verses that I just read,
yeah,
when she kind of complained about her brother's antagonism towards her, like there's that juxtaposed against here where she stands up for herself and she's found her peace. Like there she's like, I don't even know about this pussy. And over here she's like, I got this pussy and I will give it to King Solomon and I will pay him and he is going to have it.
Got it.
And by pussy, I mean grapevines or lady gardens or whatever the fuck else you want to call it.
Yeah.
Cities. Yeah.
Right.
So then the man calls upon his bride, the Shulamite, to let his companions hear her voice. He's like, she really wants to fuck me. What can I do? I mean, you know, when girl is down, what you gonna do?
Right. I'm Solomon, man.
Everybody listen to how much she wants me.
Right.
In the community of Sephardic and Oriental Jews, the congregation in traditional synagogues goes back and recites verse 13 after reciting verse 14, the last one, to avoid ending a reading on a negative note. Because at the end, they don't really get together. They just kind of go back to where they started.
Yeah, right.
So in order to not end on that negative note, they go back and they read the previous verse again.
That's okay.
Silly, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, it's no less silly than people who get married at a half hour instead of an hour. Because that way, the whole time that they're having the ceremony, the hour hand is moving upwards.
I never heard of that before.
Yeah.
I didn't, yeah.
That's a thing.
I didn't know.
So if you want your wedding to be at 4, you should actually plan it for 4:30. Because otherwise, if you get married at 4, then the whole time you're getting married, the hour hand is moving down.
And then that apparently that's a bad thing.
That's bad luck.
Oh.
It's bad luck. All the luck is spilling out.
We should have done like a bad luck wedding. We should have done
just
hung like horseshoes upside down and whatever we could think of, you know, just bad luck shit.
Torn up.
Because I think that would be fucking funny.
It would, and like 13s and 6s and all bad luck things everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
So okay, in the last verse, the woman, this is about her departure. Okay. The woman's voice calls out to her male lover to run like a gazelle or deer to wherever off into the perfumey hills, right?
Sure.
And that way the lover's game can begin afresh and it's suspended in time and just they keep circling back around each other.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
it does imply that there's another meeting, and it prolongs indefinitely the moment of young love.
Right. Yeah,
So,
I mean, we're talking about a poem here, essentially.
mhm.
So that kind of makes sense. They're trying to capture that moment, that type of love, right?
Right.
And you can't
The
really,
hotness.
you can't really. It doesn't go on forever, so
Right.
they found a way to make it go on forever,
Mhm.
sort of. I guess.
I swear, I know I've said this before, but I swear there is a touch of the Greek in this.
Sure.
The setup of it.
Yeah.
The way that, like, they're trying to talk about the body, but also the insistence that the body is not a lewd or horrible thing, but that it's beautiful. And also the endless love and the cyclical nature of it, and
Yeah.
trying to capture all of that. Like, that just feels very Greek to me.
Yeah.
And the only reason that this was included in the Bible is because of its proximity. Like, it's Solomon adjacent. And so
Right.
they were like, well, it's kind of gross, but okay, we'll let it slide. Like, honestly, like, if you read on it, everybody's like, it's weird that this book is there.
Sure.
But, and the only reason it's included is not because it's Solomonic, but because it's Solomon
Solomonic adjacent. Right.
Because either, like, he wrote it, which he didn't, or it was in his library because people wrote about him, or it was just one of many romances in his library.
I'm pretty sure that like 90% of the writing happened, according to people that read the Bible, during Solomon's time.
Yeah.
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 I mean, that's the way it seems.
That's what they would have you think.
Right. But
I don't think that, but
yeah. I mean,
That's
neither do scholars apparently either.
right.
So.
That's because, I study what scholar. I stand on the shoulders of people who have done all the work, and I'm like, hey, look at what they found.
Yeah.
Look at that science they found there.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. That science.
So is that pretty much what you have for us today then?
That is what I have for us today then.
That means that we have wrapped up our last episode, official episode of Song of Solomon.
Correct.
And I guess we'll be getting into special episodes coming up here.
Yeah, so this is coming out on Wednesday. So on Thursday, we will do like a wrap up about the Song of Solomon. I don't know that there's a lot more to say, but I'll find some interesting stuff.
Something.
Some references. I don't know. We'll find something.
Yeah.
And then we'll do contradictions, which is also you're always wrong on Friday.
Yeah.
Which I don't know that there's going to be. We might do both of those in one.
We'll see. I think that you might find some contradictions for this one, actually, because there's a lot of things that are said in here that don't track to me with the rest of the Bible.
But they're things that happen, not things that they're saying you should follow X, Y, Z.
Yeah. Well, so, only one way to find out.
And I mean, if I don't find anything, I don't find anything. If I do, then yay. But there's
honestly,
only 8 chapters.
Honestly, if we do an episode with only one contradiction, I mean, it's just a short episode, right?
If that's the way you want to run things.
We'll see.
You're the boss.
I'm the boss.
I mean, you do all of the buttons. I just sit here and laugh a lot.
Right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I didn't know until we started that we were wrapping this up. But we're done with another book of the Bible now, other than the special episodes. So
next week we'll get into Isaiah.
Yeah, that'll be the 23rd book of the Bible.
That's insane.
Right? Yeah, we're now on the 23rd book.
I can't believe how much we've read.
I know. Yeah, we're going on like 3.5 years now.
It feels
crazy.
It feels like we're finally getting somewhere, though.
It does.
That's because all these ones are pretty short.
Right.
So we're finally
moving right along. Yeah.
Get it. Yep. Get her done.
Yep. All right, guys. We will see you tomorrow.
Yep.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, wife. I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.